It's that time of the week again, deals, and this week we have another one that's got everything from indie to AAA. Today I'm covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. My name's Alex, this is SwitchCorner, let's get started. If you do grab anything, consider using cornershop.gg for your discounted eShop credit. You'll get 5% off at checkout using code CORNER, and this code is limited to the first 100 users. Later in the video then we do have two winners to announce for two $10 eShop gift cards and two more to give away. To enter, drop a comment down below and the winners, they'll be announced in next Saturday's video. Finally, do consider subscribing if you enjoy the video. It helps the channel a huge amount, and if you could like the video as well, that also goes a long way. Kao The Kangaroo is going to be for the 3D platformer fans, and while it was broken at launch, save states did not really work, it has since been patched and is now in a much better condition outside of a few minor frame rate drops that appears towards the end game. As genre entries go though, I do think it's one of the better tributes out there as we set out on a hunt across multiple islands to uncover the truth behind our father's disappearance. Our lead though packs some fun abilities such as climbing with their ears, and there's a nice amount of variety in enemy and location design. At 40% off, it's matching the low price, and I do think it's worth it. It even has some paid DLC if you want to get more out of this adventure. Monster Hunter Rise is also back, matching the low here. It's 50% off, and this game needs a little in the way of introduction. A fantastic action game that tasks you with equipping a warrior to take down massive beasts. It introduced new mechanics including a sit wire, and we can even tame these monsters temporarily and use them against one another. This is an example of how good a game can look and perform when it's built with the Switch hardware in mind. The loop overall is addictive as well. Level up, get new weapons and armor, and yeah, it's best played online with a group of friends. Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection matches the low with 60% off, and I think it's fair to say it's one of, if not the most famous collection of fighters out there, and I don't think you can go wrong with this collection of 12 games, which encompasses the Street Fighter 1, 2, 3 and Alpha series. Now out of the 12 games here as well, 4 do feature online capabilities, and if that's not to your fancy, face off against the classic arcade modes or quick play options. It's all backed up then with a museum that takes you through the history of Street Fighter, and yeah, overall I'm a big fan. I grabbed this day one physically, and it's one I return to frequently. Capcom Fighting Collection will be a good option for those that want a bit more variety in their fighters, and it gets a new low of 50% off, and this is a bundle of 10 games, but I'd consider this a bit more niche. Yes, it still has some Street Fighter, including Hyper Street Fighter 2 and Puzzle Fighter 2, but alongside these, expect the Darkstalker series, as well as Cyberbots and Red Earth. It's another one with a museum and online options, and I really enjoyed diving into these, as I really had very little experience with them. You can see my full review in the pinned comment, and if you do want to maybe save a couple of extra bucks as well, you can grab both of these fighter bundles together. There's an option that's $30, which is called the Capcom Fighting Bundle. The company man will be for the 2D platformer fans out there, and it's a new low of 40% off. Now if you've ever worked in an office like me, you'll definitely enjoy the humour packed into this one. The idea though, we just started a new job, we've instantly been demoted, now we are battling our way to the CEO. Some examples: a location is HR, which is represented as a frozen wasteland. Save points are now coffee machines, and IT are just basically out to destroy everyone. Definitely tongue-in-cheek, but it gets the balance just right, and while it's short, I do think it's a great little adventure as we take out enemies by swinging our keyboard. Check out my full review in the pinned comments. Citizen Sleeper was a relatively recent pickup for me. I grabbed it in one of the last sales, and now it's back, matching the low of 30% off. This game is an absolute gem. It's an RPG with a narrative focus. It comes from the developer of In Other Waters, which was just a stunning adventure game. The idea though, we are an escaped worker that's found themselves on a lawless station. Now we must explore this location, choose friends, and escape the past while setting up our future. The idea of choosing what we do each day is just always satisfying, such as work for cash, and yeah, there's a few games really out there like this. My recommendation though here, watch a full review first. It won't be for everyone, and it packs a huge amount of mechanics. It's 30% off then, making it a new low. Opus Echo of Starsong Full Bloom Edition is in a similar vein than a narrative adventure that won't be for everyone, and the same recommendation comes with it. Go ahead and watch a full review. It's 25% off though, matching the low, and visually it is stunning. Few games have such a distinctive style. This one then, it's more visual and novel-esque as we set out as an exile and a witch on a journey of self-discovery. Where it's different to most in the genre, however, it features gameplay elements too. Think random encounters, light-based puzzles, and exploration of a star map full of asteroids. I think it's well worth it, it's emotionally charged, and the soundtrack here is stunning as well. It's just a great game when you want something a little bit more relaxed. WRC Generations then is my pickup of the week, meaning it's not a recommendation, rather maybe you'll want to join me for the ride, and here it's a new low of 50% off. Now races are a funny thing on the Switch given the fact that we don't have analog triggers. It means it's all or nothing on acceleration, but WRC has traditionally allowed acceleration attached to a stick input, which somewhat works and overcomes the issue if you can get used to it. I'm just a fan of these more realistic experience. I've enjoyed all of the past ones I've played, so I'm hoping for more of the same here. Visually though, I will warn, they can typically be a little rough around the edges, which also seems to be the case here. Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection is back, matching the low with 50% off, and generally I enjoyed this release. I did review it here on the channel, you can find that below, but I do go back and forth with myself over how I feel surrounding the graphics. The fairy tale book-like presentation makes sense, but I feel it makes the hit detection visual representation at least a tad more unreliable. If you want a tough as nails action platformer though, this is it, as it pulls from series history for many of its locations and moments. With a wide variety of demanding enemies and weapons as well, it is no question a solid entry for the series. Again though, do be warned, extremely difficult, that is for sure, and it's gonna cause some frustration as you learn the best approach. Our first winner of the week then for the $10 eShop gift card is on screen right now. As many of you know, I'm away currently back in the UK for the week, hence I can't address them directly, but I wanted to keep it fair and not pick until the morning of this video release. Congrats to them though, and we do have a second winner coming up here shortly in the video. LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, just a quick mention here as I did speak to it a couple of weeks back when the sale first begun, but just a reminder, it's 70% off, a new low, and there's a huge amount of game here for your cash. It comes highly recommended from me, but this deal, it does expire in just a couple of days, so now's the time to decide if you do want to jump into this 3D adventure platformer and tackle all 9 films. Paranormasight The 7 Mysteries of Honjiro is a new release that I was playing for review, but I didn't quite get around to covering it before leaving for the UK. As I said, I recorded this video in advance, so do expect to see a video on this title next week on my return. I'm not a massive visual novel fan personally, but I've been loving this horror spin on the genre. It has some incredibly creative moments as we set out on this adventure to uncover the truth behind different curses while deciding essentially who lives and dies. It's more gameplay packed than most. We choose locations to visit, we decide when to act, we even have a few kind of puzzle-esque moments in here as well. While I do wish it had voice acting in here, it is still high quality stuff at a bargain price, and this launch discount 20% off, it is well worth it. Our second winner of the week then is on screen right now. Congrats on the $10 eShop gift card. Email me to claim your code. Everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance in next Saturday's video. Luigis Mansion 3 is our final game. It's the usual, and Nintendo 33% off, matching the low, but I feel like it's been a little while since we've seen this one, and it is a fantastic game. I hope to see not only the 4th entry soon, but also I'd love for this to be a movie spin-off with Charlie Day taking the lead. A 3D adventure game, we visit a hotel and our friends go missing, and now we must find them with our trusty vacuum and Luigi. The game visually looks incredible, it shows what Nintendo can deliver compared to most with the power at hand, and it comes highly recommended. This was discounted though as part of Mario Day alongside titles such as the most recent Mario Party. And that's the video down. Will you be adding anything to the library, or will you be holding onto that cash? Let me know in the comments. With that, a shout out then to the channel patrons who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. If you do want to check that out for yourself, I do have it in the video description down below. Then hit subscribe, join us here for reviews and deals daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.